It's Wednesday, July 5th. Bob Price on Canada's Business Beat, brought to you by Eric Potato of eXp Realty, your Thompson, Okanagan and Shuswap Lake Lakeview specialist. You can now add the Mining Association of Canada to the fast-growing list of groups wanting the federal government to intervene in that current BC port workers strike. The mining sector noting that back in 2021, mineral exports were valued at $127 billion, or 22% of the country's total exports. News as well today that the International Longshore and Warehouse Union is demanding a 2-year wage hike of 17% and an $8,000 signing bonus for every worker. It's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer in Canada. StatsCan reporting a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, data suggesting that while the wealthiest 20% of Canadians were responsible for 68% of overall net worth in the first quarter of this year, the least wealthy owned a mere 2.79% of Canada's net worth. That gap, 64% last year, 65.1% this year. Around the world on Twitter and wherever you get your favorite podcasts, Canada's Business Beat, proudly sponsored by Eric Potato of eXp Realty. Considering a move to BC's wine country? Eric Potato is your Thompson, Okanagan and Shuswap Lake Lakeview specialist at OkanaganLakefrontProperties.com. New evidence that working from home during the worst of COVID had a lasting impact. Real estate firm CBRE reporting that in the second quarter of this year, the Canada-wide office vacancy rate was the highest it's been since back in the 90s at 18.1% from 17.8% in the first quarter. Vancouver's Granville Island Brewing might be forced to turn off the beer taps. The company owned by Molson Coors facing the prospect of strike action by the brewery's staff starting Saturday. Wages the main beef. And it's the real thing for hundreds of workers at a Coca-Cola bottling plant in Calgary. The beverage giant announcing plans for a $70 million upgrade to that facility. And that will do it for a Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Bob Price on Canada's Business Beat, brought to you by Eric Potato of OkanaganLakefrontProperties.com.